Good morning, my friends. It is Tuesday morning. It is the second day of our school week. The first day of our school week is Monday. Today is Tuesday. It is the second day of our school week. And today is also the second day of our Earth Day week-long celebration. So I'm going to read a story this morning. Well, first of all, I wanted to take a walk this morning and show you guys the path that I walk, because there's so much beautiful nature to see on that path. But as soon as I came outside, it started raining. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to read two books this morning, and one is a book about trees. And the reason we're reading about trees, well, you tell me, why are we reading about trees today? Because it's Earth Day week, and we are going to read something about trees or nature or wildlife every day this week. And that's why I wanted to take you on my walk, because I wanted to show you the nature path that I walk on, all of the beautiful trees. Maybe we could see some animals. I walk by a creek where the water flows so beautifully, and it sounds, if you stop and you take your listening ears and you just listen when you walk by the water, you can hear it running. You can hear it gurgling as it goes along its water path. I'm just going to use my listening ears right now and see what I hear behind me. I hear the wind blowing. I hear the birds calling each other. And you can see I have my little birdhouse behind me. The wind is starting to blow, and you can see my birdhouse, my little bird feeder. It's blowing in the wind because the wind is moving it. So I'm also wearing my sweatshirt because I'm a little chilly out here. That's okay. I like the cold air. It feels good on my skin, and I know that I can go back inside the house and get warm again. So a little bit of cold air is okay. So I have our first book is going to be our book called Who Lives in Trees? And we're going to read that book first, and then our second book we've already read for Circle Time. But yesterday one of my friends asked me if we could read it again. And I told her yes, I would love to read it again because it's one of our favorite books. It is our book, Harry the Dirty Dog. And we love Harry the Dirty Dog. So, excuse me. Our first book is called Who Lives in Trees. I'm going to get a little sip of water first. My water bottle squeaks when I sip out of it. And we are going to start our story. It is written by Trish Holland, and it is published by our friends at Teaching Strategies, and they publish a lot of the books that we have in our classroom. So who lives in trees? And it's a question. Who lives in trees? Do we know? And there at the end of the sentence, at the end of the title, is a question mark, because we know we're asking a question. And that mark, if you look at that crazy little mark that bug is sitting on, that means that the words make a question. Who lives in trees? Well, let's find out. Here's the inside page, and there's, what is that? It's a little tree frog. And it says, who lives in trees? And it has a question mark. Can you trace that question mark with your finger in the air? You can trace the question mark and put a nice dot on the bottom. And it is written by Trish Holland. Who lives in this tree? With wings I can fly to my nest way up high. I am an owl. I live in this tree. And what is that owl flying to? She's flying to his little babies, isn't she? See those little fluffy babies in the nest. Who lives in this tree? With a strong tail and arms, I can swing all day long. I am a monkey. I live in this tree. That monkey is swinging. Wow, look at that tail. He uses his tail almost like it's another arm, doesn't he? Look how he's using his tail. Do you see how his tail is hanging on just like his feet and his hands? pretty cool. If I had a tail, I would swing from the trees too. Who lives in this tree with sticky little toes I can cling upside down? I am a tree frog. I live in this tree. You see his sticky little toes? It helps him hang on to the branches, and so he can actually hang upside down. And if he hangs upside down, he can see everything on the ground underneath him. Who lives in this tree with long tails and claws? I can climb anywhere. I am an anteater. I live in this tree. Do you see his nose? His nose is like a little hose, and he moves it along the ground and along the trunks of the trees, and he picks up bugs with it, and he eats bugs. It's like a little vacuum cleaner nose that vacuums up bugs. It's called an anteater. Who lives in this tree? With skin stretched like wings, I can glide side to side. I am a flying dragon. I live in this tree. Now I want you to look at something really careful. Do you see how he's got his skin stretched? Those aren't wings. That's his skin, and it stretches out. And I want you to look at something on your hand. Make your hand like this, and look between your finger and your thumb, right here. Do you see this extra skin here that stretches? It lets our thumb stretch way far down. Make your thumb stretch, and you can pinch that skin. There's nothing there but just stretched skin. You see that? And if you look at him, he's got stretched skin. He's got a lot more of it than we have on our hand. Who lives in this tree? With wings I can fly to my big buzzing hive. What is it? I am a bee. I live in this tree. Has a lot of bees in there making honey. That beehive is full of bees. Who lives in this tree? I scrape out a din, but it smells just a bit. I am a skunk. I live in this tree. And this is kind of cool because this isn't a tree that's still alive. This is a tree that's fallen over. And it's a dead tree, but skunks still use it. They use all the parts of the tree all the time. Trees are very useful, even when they're dead. So the birds live in the trees when they're alive, and when the trees fall over and die, bugs and larvae and skunks and rodents will live in those trees. So no matter what life cycle the tree is in, our animals will still use that tree. The trees never go to waste. I think that's very, very cool. Who lives in this tree with a strong grip and claws? I hold on with my paws. I am a koala. He's so cute. I live in this tree. Look how sweet he is. He loves that tree. Who lives in this tree? With wings I can flit to a banquet on a branch. I am a ladybug. I live in this tree. And you see that ladybug is eating bugs that would eat the tree. So she's eating those bugs so they don't eat the tree leaves. They're called aphids, and they love sucking the juice out of those tree leaves. And that ladybug will eat them up, and then it'll keep them from destroying that tree. It's pretty cool how nature takes care of itself. Pretty amazing, isn't it? Who lives in this tree? With sharp, tiny claws, I can run just for fun. We know this one. I am a squirrel. I live in this tree. That squirrel has sharp, tiny claws, and those claws can grip on any part of the tree, and it can run all the way up the tree sideways. We don't have claws. We can't run up the tree sideways. We have to climb, but that little squirrel, it can grab that tree and it can climb right up the side. Who lives in this tree? With wings I can flutter from my comfortable cocoon. What is it? I am a butterfly. Coming out of its comfortable cocoon, I live in this tree. Who lives in this tree? Hooks and claws on my feet help me walk on my web. What is it? I am a spider. I live in this tree. Oh, that is a big spider. Yikes. Look at that beautiful web though. Do you see how his feet are walking on it? It's strong enough for him to walk on, and it looks like he's caught himself a little bit of breakfast. Yeah. Thank goodness spiders like bugs, because I sure don't. Who lives in this tree? With humming wings I dart to the babies in my nest. Who has humming wings when they fly? I am a hummingbird. I live in this tree. And you see it feeding its little babies? It feeds them with its beak. It brings the food in its mouth and it feeds them with its beak. Who lives in this tree? With my muscles I can climb. Then I make a cozy coil. I am a tree snake. I live in this tree. It's pretty awesome little snake there. And the snake, I noticed the snake is green. Why do you think that snake is green if it lives in trees? I think that it's green because it can hide in the trees, because the trees have green leaves. So the snake is green also because it lives in the trees, so it can hide here. There's a loud truck coming by. Let's see what it is. It's cleaning the street. Wow, that's pretty awesome. That truck is cleaning the side of the street. It gets all of the nasty gravel and extra dirt and grime off the street, and it moves the trash out of the way. It's really important for the street sweepers to come through, because sometimes people take walks and ride their bikes on the street, and they don't want to ride over all that dirt and all the extra gravel. So he cleans the sides of the street. It also keeps the lines nice and clean so we can see the lines so we can drive safely. Who lives in this tree? I fly to my nest. My dead tree is the best. And this is another animal that likes the tree after it's died, because it is a woodpecker. And it lives in this tree. And that woodpecker eats the bugs that live in those dead trees. His little beak is super strong. It's as strong as a nail. And it can hammer into the tree and make a hole. You see that beak? That is a powerful beak. If you listen carefully, sometimes you can hear woodpeckers. I don't hear any right now, but it sounds like brrr. It sounds like a hammer hitting really, really fast over and over again. It's a really neat sound in nature. Who lives in this tree? With wings I fly up. Then I hang with my head down. I am a bat. I live in this tree. And those bats, they sleep during the day and they wake up at night. And they fly around at night. Who lives in this tree? With eggs in my nest, I sit warm in my nook. I am a bluebird. I live in this tree. Who lives in this tree? With claws I dig tunnels. Tree roots are my roof. This animal lives under the tree. And the tree roots in the ground are his roof. I am a wombat. I live in this tree. That's an interesting looking animal. I have never seen a wombat. Who lives in this tree? No claws, no wings. Our feet aren't sticky things. We are just kids, and we play in this tree. They're playing on a swing in the tree. It's a tire swing. Look at all those trees behind him. It looks like they're out in a park. That's a great picture. And that is the end of our tree book. We have a couple of pictures. It says, what are trees good for? What is good for what is good for trees? Not what trees are good for, but what is good for the trees? Well, the sunshine is good for the trees. And the soil is good for the trees. And the rain is good for the trees. So today we don't have any sunshine. There's a lot of soil because that's the ground. And we have a little bit of rain. And the rain is good for the trees. Now, what is bad for the trees? Well, drought, which is when the rain doesn't come. Wildfire is bad for the trees. It will destroy the trees. They'll burn. So we want to be careful when we're out camping or we build a fire out at a campsite. We want to make sure that we put it out completely so it doesn't start up and catch trees on fire. And then pests and disease. So do you see those are pests? They're bugs that aren't good bugs. They're pests. They're bad bugs, and they will destroy the tree. And the trees get sick just like we do. They don't catch colds, but they can get diseases and they can get sicknesses that can make them not feel good, that can hurt them. So we want to make sure that we take care of our trees, especially the ones around our house, so that they don't get pests and disease. Who needs the trees? Animal, insects, and birds. You and I do too. We all need the trees. That's a beautiful picture. What do I see in this picture? What do you see in this picture? This is where the sun is shining and you can see the sunbeams. And what is this? Do you see that? What's it? It's a waterfall. You see it? It's going into the ocean, or it's not the ocean. It's going into the, it's probably a river. It's going into the river. And that is the end of our story. Who lives in trees? We've read that before in Circle Time too, haven't we? But I still like the story. I think it's very interesting, and I think the pictures are beautiful. So, that was a pretty long story. Now we're going to read our story, Harry the Dirty Dog. Harry the Dirty Dog was written by Jean Zion, and the pictures, the illustrator, was Margaret Lloyd Graham, and the author, the man who wrote the words, was Jean Zion. And it is Harry the Dirty Dog. Harry was a white dog with black spots. He liked everything except getting a bath. So one day when he heard the water running in the tub, he took the scrubbing brush. That would be like you taking the wash rag and running away with it. He took the scrubbing brush and he buried it in the backyard. And then he ran away from home. He played where they were fixing the street, and he got very dirty. He's playing in the potholes, and he's playing in the gravel and in the tar and in the dirt, and he's getting very dirty. He played at the railroad, and he got even dirtier. He played tag with the other dogs, and he became dirtier still. Look at, they're playing in the pipes. They're playing in the dirt. You see the dirt's all dug up back here, and there's a shovel and a pickaxe. He slid down a coal chute, and he got the dirtiest of all. In fact, because it was coal and coal is black, He changed from a white dog with black spots to a black dog with white spots. You can see on the cover, he is a white dog with black spots, and then he becomes a black dog with white spots. Although there were many other things to do, Harry began to wonder if his family thought that he really ran away. He felt tired and hungry, so without stopping on the way, he ran all the way back home. He's hungry, so he's looking at those people at the restaurant, and he's thinking, I want some food. I'm so hungry. When Harry got to his house, he crawled through the fence, and he sat looking at the back door. One of the family looked out, and he said, "There's a strange dog in the backyard. By the way, has anyone seen Harry?" You can hear that wind. When Harry heard this, he tried very hard to show them that he was Harry. He started to do his old clever tricks. He flip-flopped, he flop-flipped, and he rolled over and played dead. He's trying to show them that he knows all the tricks that they taught him. But he doesn't look like Harry, so they don't know it's Harry. He danced and he sang, and he did these tricks over and over again, but everyone shook their head. Oh no. When Harry heard this, he tried very hard to show them that he was Harry. He started to do all of his old clever tricks. He flip-flopped, and he flop-flipped, and he rolled over, and he played dead. That was a huge truck. Oh my goodness. He's flipping and flopping, and he's playing dead. I think that truck had a house on it. He danced and he sang. He did these tricks over and over again, but everyone shook their head and they said, "Oh no, it couldn't be Harry." Harry gave up. He walked slowly toward the gate, but suddenly he stopped. He ran to the corner of the garden. He started to dig furiously. Soon he jumped away from the hole and he barked short and happy barks. He got so excited, he went, "Arr, arr, 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 arr." Can you bark like Harry? Arr, 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 arr. Those are happy barks. He found his scrubbing brush. He carried it in his mouth and he ran into the house. But up the stairs he dashed, with the family close behind him. They were probably wondering, who is this strange dog and why is he in our house? He jumped into the bathtub and he sat up begging with the scrubbing brush in his mouth, the trick he had never done before. "This little doggy wants a bath," cried the little girl, and her father said, "Why don't you and your brother give him a bath?" Now, if there was a strange, dirty dog that ran into your house and jumped in your bathtub, would your parents or family tell you to give that dog a bath? I don't think so. But these parents, they said, "Give that dog a bath." I don't know. Maybe they would. Harry's bath was the soapiest bath he had ever had. It worked like magic. As soon as the children started to scrub, they began to shout, "Mommy, Daddy, look! Come quick! It's Harry! It's Harry! It's Harry!" They cried, and Harry wagged his tail very, very happily. His family combed and brushed his hair lovingly, and he once again became their white dog with black spots. It was wonderful to be home. After dinner, Harry fell asleep in his favorite place, and he dreamed happily of how much fun it had been getting dirty. He slept so soundly, he didn't even feel the scrub brush hidden underneath his pillow. And there is Harry. He's sleeping so soundly on his pillow. And there is our scrub brush hidden underneath his pillow. And that is the end of our story, Harry the Dirty Dog. We love Harry the Dirty Dog. So, it's been kind of a long circle time, but we had two really good stories. And I love the tree book. It tells us all about the things that live in the trees, whether the trees are dead or alive. The trees are helpful to us. They are so useful to nature and to the animals. I am going to wait until tomorrow to take my nature walk. And tomorrow should be sunny. I looked at the weather report, and if it is sunny, we'll go out and we will... That truck is huge! We will take our nature walk, and we'll look at all the beautiful things, all the beautiful things that we see along our path. Our sky is pretty cloudy right now. I'm going to show you my cloudy sky, so hang on just a moment. So here is my cloudy sky. It probably looks a lot like your cloudy sky. I'm going to listen for just a moment. Shh, use your listening ears. I can hear the rain falling, and I can hear the birds chirping. Everything sounds so different when it rains. We hear sounds in nature when it rains that we don't hear when the sun is out. When you listen, when you use your listening ears today, I want you to listen for the sounds that you hear in nature when it's raining that you don't hear when the sun is out. Tell me what they are. Tell me what's different about listening. Tell me what's different about using your listening ears when it's raining. All right, I will see you tomorrow. I can't wait. And you guys have a really good afternoon. Love you.